All right, what's up, everybody? This is Brian Engelman, and this is the Unhappy Hour. We are live. We are going a few different ways to bring you the program, to bring you the content, to bring you the show. Check it out. Make sure that you're linked up with us on social media. The Unhappy Hour, it's a private sports group if you're an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan, or if you're okay getting national news from people that are hardcore homers and we like the teams where we're from. We give you a little bit of everything. Search for the Unhappy Hour. I woke up today and got, moving along and looking through the news cycle, and now I'm hearing that Kyrie Irving, according to reports, Kyrie Irving has requested a trade out of Cleveland.
No, it's true. It's true. I literally texted one of his friends about it when I saw the report an hour ago. Said that he wanted to go home to New York. Said that he'd also be willing to consider, wasn't on Chris Haynes' list, but also be willing to consider Philadelphia as well. So Brooklyn was not on his list. He wants to be in New York. The only viable option I see if he's traded to the Knicks is for Kristaps Porzingis. That's it. And then what do you have to do? Then you have to go and move Kevin Love for a point guard. So everything becomes complicated. If you go and trade him to Minnesota, who are you getting from Minnesota? Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler? I couldn't tell you. San Antonio, the only viable option to trade there is Kawhi Leonard, and I don't think San Antonio does that deal. So, Kyrie's very limited in what he can do. And you know what? He's still sitting with the Cavs for another 2 years. The Cavaliers can literally say, screw you, you're going to play under this deal, and we're going to offer you a supermax in 2 years, and there's no way you're turning down $70 extra million.
So where is this coming from? Look, hold on. Before I get going, I woke up yesterday, and I found out OJ was getting paroled, and Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park was dead. I just want to punch myself in the face a few times and go back to sleep.
Cavaliers officially have promoted Kobe Altman to general manager, FYI.
Okay, Kobe Altman is now the Cavs general manager.
Something I already said a couple weeks ago that was happening. It's happened. He is the GM.
All right, so there is a GM, and I wake up today with the Kyrie Irving stuff. What is behind this? He just wants to be the alpha male on the team?
I think he wants to be the alpha male, but let's take a look at this. Just 3 years ago, Kyrie Irving had never made the playoffs, never took a team to more than 33 wins in a season. And now with LeBron, he's been to 3 straight titles, and he's won one. The team has been to 3 straight titles. What more could you ask for? You want to go play on a crappier team like Minnesota, so you got to go through Golden State earlier? I don't care if Kyrie Irving has Karl Anthony Towns and Jimmy Butler. He's still not going to beat them. I don't think he realizes how good LeBron James is, and I think he doesn't care. I think he just, again, like you said, he wants to be the alpha dog. That's all he cares
about. The timing of this, it just makes you wonder, why now? What is it about now?
I think he's been unhappy for a while. This was expressed well over a year ago. This was expressed in March 16 as well, that he didn't want to be a part of this. I think he realized that, he's the number 2 guy in town. He wants to be the number 1 guy. He wants to be the dog. It's not like Kyrie Irving's drained the game-winning shot of the NBA Finals or anything.
Yeah. Hey, Tom is watching on Facebook Live. He said, trade him to New York. He deserves them. What do you think of that?
I mean, but the question is, unless you can get Porzingis in another piece, I don't make the trade. I'd still take Kyrie Irving over Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know if you're going to be able to get equal value. There aren't a ton of great young players in the league that the teams are willing to trade for, that the teams are willing to trade right now. And, I think Kyrie would be a ginormous superstar with the Knicks. However, I still think the Knicks suck. Don't forget, you're replacing, who's he going to go there and play with? Joakim Noah? Or Noah's gone.
Is Derrick Rose coming here?
I tend to think so. Yes, I tend to think so.
But here, hold on. Here's the thing with the pause on the Knicks, because we can go break down a few possible scenarios in a minute here in more detail. But before we even get to that, I think we're talking about something that's a pretty interesting dilemma right now for the Cavs. Do you get
the
rid
Cavs
of LeBron,
don't have to trade
LeBron's...
Kyrie. There's nothing twisting their arms going, you have to trade him. Nobody's holding a gun to his head. The Cavaliers are the ones in position here to say to Kyrie, listen, you're under contract for 2 more years. Also, Kyrie wants to be traded now so he can still get the super max. That's why he's asking for it now. Don't forget, the Cavaliers are the only team right now, if they keep him, that'll be able to offer it.
Okay. But
the Cavaliers have the leverage here. Kyrie Irving does not. Just because he requests a trade doesn't mean he's going to be traded.
No, I understand but what I'm saying, hold on a second. What I'm getting to is the LeBron James question. If LeBron James isn't committed past next season, you have to trade LeBron James and build around Kyrie.
LeBron has a no-trade clause. You cannot trade him.
Oh, yeah, we can't do that. Okay, so now we're being held hostage not knowing what LeBron's doing next year.
I tend to think, if I'm the Cavs even, and this is the weirdest thing ever, but I'm calling up the LA Lakers and going, give me Lonzo Ball and give me another piece and we'll give you Kyrie Irving.
Okay, sorry. I was just thinking about the Ball family, like Johnny Manziel in Cleveland again, and I couldn't come up with a word to express how little I have.
Lonzo Ball doesn't have a drug or a drinking problem. He just has a jackass for a father.
I don't know which one's more debilitating to the career. We'll find out. Okay, yeah, so LeBron has the no-trade clause. He cannot be traded. But what happens now? LeBron is supposed to be the leader of this team, and everything is unraveling here. Is he supposed to do anything in this off time, or what?
There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. He said he was sad and disappointed by the news of Kyrie Irving requesting a trade. It's obviously out of Kyrie's camp. They're obviously unhappy with LeBron. There's nothing he can do about it, and it just is what it is. Again, like I said, the Cavaliers hold the leverage here. There's nothing going that Kyrie Irving's leaving today or tomorrow. He has to play another 2 seasons in Cleveland, and if Cleveland offers him $70 million more than any other team can, odds are he's back. And don't forget, LeBron's not going to be alpha dog of this team for the next 7-8 years. This will eventually be Kyrie's team. He just needs to be smart and wait it out. The guy hit the damn champion. He hit the shot to win Game 7 of the NBA Finals. I don't know how much more you can ask for.
Well, but he's also the guy that says the Earth is flat.
I don't even think he believes that.
I don't know. Hey, I got a question. Ed Wilson, what's up, Ed, in Facebook? He's saying Bron's going to sneak off again. He's not recruiting like he used to. I think he gave up. What do you say to that?
I don't think he gave up.
But do you think he's going to sneak off again then?
I don't think so. I really don't. I think people speculate a bunch of crap every year just because it makes for stories. Don't forget, after the Cavaliers won Game 7, Stephen A. Smith and other people, he's going to the Los Angeles Lakers. No, he wasn't. LA's
hold on. Tell me more about
way to go.
Tell me more about that report from Stephen A. What did it sound like? What was the full report?
He's going to the Los Angeles Lakers. It's just like he's not. Eric Pincus, who I think is one of the best writers in the business, was saying it too. I can frankly tell you from what my understanding is that LeBron's kids are not enrolled in LA schools like people are saying they are. Bronny was just taking a visit of Western Reserve Academy as of a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they can say whatever they want, but if the kid's touring schools and going on tours of University School and Western Reserve Academy and different private schools in the Cleveland area to start high school and to start his later years, it means they're obviously interested in keeping their son in the Cleveland area.
Which counts for something. Absolutely.
Yes. Just remember that. And I know that 100% he took a tour of Western Reserve. I'm willing to bet my life on it.
Hey, Mark, by the way, Mark Nutter was saying that sounded more like a report from Gilbert Godfrey. I disagree. I think that was an awesome Stephen A. Smith, and I'd love to hear what LA Sports Radio talk show call-in guy would sound like as well. Zach.
I've got a problem doing LA Sports Radio talking. I've lost my voice a little bit.
All right, we'll get back to you on that one.
I've been in meetings all week and on the phone all week for work. It's been very, very tough.
No, it's good. Go ahead and look through the archives because we've had LA Sports Talk Radio show guy call in a few times.
Hey, Lonzo Ball is going to be the next Kobe Bryant. I can't even do it right now. See, I can't. It was terrible.
See, that was okay. Mark might say you sound like Gilbert Godfrey. I heard the G.
Kyrie Irving.
Lamar
Odom.
Would you Lamar?
Runner taste. Trade for runner taste.
Should the Lakers trade for Kobe Bryant? Or I'm sorry, should the Lakers trade for Kyrie Irving and LeBron James?
Typical LA Lakers guy would want to give up Lamar Odom, Metta World Peace, maybe another piece.
Nick Young.
Hey, Julius Randle will be the centerpiece.
The center.
And then you get LeBron and Kyrie.
Yeah, to get Kyrie.
Hey, Kevin Love.
just throw Kevin Love in?
Anything with an L in it is great.
Lamar Odom, Kevin Love. Okay. Anyway, would you say that it's fair to John Toburin, who posted in the comment room in response to Eddie, said, you can't recruit with no cap room? Do you think that's what's messing this whole damn team up?
I mean, here's the thing. If Derrick Rose, here's the thing. Let me mark my words when I say this. If Derrick Rose is contemplating coming to Cleveland, and the Cavaliers want LeBron James to get on the phone to bring Derrick Rose down, trust me, LeBron's hopping on that phone to recruit Derrick Rose. He's not actively going out and seeking. The Cavaliers don't have the cap room to go out and sign a Big Ten free agent. He actively recruited Jimmy Butler. He actively recruited Paul George. He was on the phone with them.
Hold on, wait, reset. Say that one more time. LeBron James.
He actively recruited both Jimmy Butler and Paul George. Trust me when I say that.
Okay, then pause for a second, because Butler was about it, and then he changed his mind, made a sharp 180. He was really...
And then he got traded anyway.
No, but he made a 180 before. He could have steered that if he was more public.
Because it was because of the money. It had nothing to do with anything else other than the money. It had to do with the Supermax deal, which he's no longer eligible for in Minnesota.
Okay.
Because of the trade. He's no longer eligible for it. So he lost millions and millions. He lost $40-something million because of a stupid rule. So that wasn't his fault. That's what he's looking at. It's because of a stupid rule, and it cost him. And so it really cost him. It really affected him, and now that's the problem. So that's what he's dealing with on that end. Trust me, he would have much rather been in Cleveland over Minnesota. I can promise you that one. And Paul George would have much rather been in Cleveland than Oklahoma City on that as well. Paul George was sold on Cleveland, and Indiana wound up reneging because they didn't want to do a deal within the division. It had nothing to do with the Cavs not giving a good offer. Now looking at it, it made sense why the Cavaliers were offering up Kyrie Irving for Eric Bledsoe and Paul George. Looking back on it, the deal makes tons of sense now.
They were offering Kyrie in that trade.
So it made sense because Kyrie had probably requested a trade at that point, and that was why they followed through to try to do it. If that's what Kyrie wants, that's what Kyrie wants. I don't particularly understand it, but there are players who make regrettable moves all the time. Do we not see it all the time, Brian?
All the time. And it's not like we didn't hate LeBron James for 4 years straight.
I mean, there are players who do things. There are players who make moves and that they ultimately regret. You see it all the time happening in sports. Going, you know what? I should have never left Cleveland. I should have never left here. I should have never left the good thing which I had. Kobe and Shaq. I should have never. We should have never fought with Shaq. We would have won 3 or 4 more titles together. Instead they couldn't keep their. Kobe couldn't keep his ego in check, and they lost Shaq because of it. And they were forced to trade Shaq for a bag of balls.
Yeah. What do you say to Tom, who's commenting on the Facebook page for the Unhappy Hour? By the way, okay, so in this camera, we're doing Facebook Live. In this camera, we're on YouTube, probably sharing through Twitter and stuff. So you got to link up with all of us. But if you're not linked up with the Unhappy Hour right now, you need to do that. It's a private group. It's called the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Find it, and as long as we can confirm you're an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan, we'll put you in there. So when we have these talks, when news is breaking, and as a Cavs fan, it's been nothing but breaking news for the past 4 years. So it's been interesting. Anyhow, so Tom's question in the Unhappy Hour Facebook group, he said, if LeBron wanted players, he would have signed a longer contract, and everyone would want to come here.
No, it has nothing to do with it. The Cavaliers are out of cap room. It's it. People need to stop speculating on that one. It has nothing to do with that.
But there is something to say, saying LeBron is committed to 6 years in this city.
Trust me, LeBron's not going anywhere. Please, I want to get rid of this talk already. I don't want to answer any more questions on it because we spent way too much time talking about LeBron leaving. It's not happening right now. I can tell you it's not happening right now. I don't think it's going to happen. I've been right on every single LeBron news over the last 7 years on your show. Have I not?
Yeah, we knew this. We knew this way more confidently.
Since we started doing the show, what was it, end of 2010, early 11?
Jeez, yeah.
Early 2011. Have I ever once been wrong with you on any LeBron James related news, Brian? Anytime.
And we've got the big stuff quicker than the other guys.
I've gotten to you with the Mo Williams trade for the #1 overall pick to the Clippers before anyone else had it. I've gotten you with multiple news stories before. The Channing Frye trade last year too. We discussed on the air for Varejao. Trust me, I know a lot of news before it happens, just going down based on the people I talk to and the people I'm connected with. Trust me when I tell you this, the LeBron news needs to be put to rest for right now. It just does. This is something that people just love to talk about. But again, I don't see LeBron leaving again. I just don't.
All right, what do you say to John Hinkle in the chat room who says, or on the Facebook account here, he's saying it's a blessing in disguise. Just for a second, in what ways could Kyrie Irving be a blessing in disguise?
I don't see any blessing in disguise from him unless the Cavaliers are able to acquire a piece like Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons from Philadelphia. Or what you do is you get Ben Simmons, a guy who's, that's another thing I could possibly see happening. I'm not saying it's going to, but another move I could possibly see is, Philly acquiring a big superstar like Kyrie Irving, moving Ben Simmons, and also moving one of those picks for next year that the Cavaliers can move and get another piece. I think those are one of the few trade options available that the Cavaliers have that they can see and listen, we're getting fair trade value for a superstar. We're trading it for a young guy with a ton of potential who missed his rookie season, but is also part of the clutch brand, keeps LeBron healthy, and keeps LeBron happy. The Cavaliers are young, and it allows them to move, let's say the Lakers pick, which could be top 3, top 5 next year, for another significant piece.
So the Sixers is kind of what we're looking at. But then you would have a situation where you'd have two very established veterans in Kevin Love and LeBron James, not to mention the J.R. Smith, who's now calling
You'd have
down.
Ben Simmons as well. What I'm saying is you'd have a guy like Ben Simmons as well, but you'd again move that Lakers pick next year, or that's, I'm sorry, they don't have the Lakers pick, but you'd move, Philadelphia has tons of picks. Okay, let me rephrase it, because they traded the Lakers pick over to Boston. But they do. They have their own pick. They have plenty of picks over the next couple of years that they've stockpiled. And you throw in those draft picks, and suddenly you're able to get another acquired superstar in a deal. Not superstar, maybe an all-star type player, to pair along with Ben Simmons, Kevin Love, and LeBron. And suddenly the Cavs are retooling for the future and for the present.
Now, would someone like to the Knicks for Porzingis and Melo or something like that, or some variation of that?
The problem is you cannot make the cap work. Melo has a trade kicker. That's the problem.
So they would have to release him or something, buy him out?
Yeah, they have to buy him out. There's really no option. And the Cavaliers are not going to trade Kyrie Irving straight up for Carmelo Anthony. You've got to be kidding me.
No, Porzingis too.
Yeah. That works. Where do the Knicks go from there, though? They're just going to have Kyrie Irving. They're going to win 26 games and have Kyrie Irving putting up 50 a night.
Hey, I don't care where the Knicks go from there. I care about where the Cavs go from there.
Yeah.
I don't care. So the Sixers trying to bring back all of that young talent. If that were to happen, that would almost be the type of Andrew Wiggins debate where, no, LeBron's ready to win right now. We need veterans that know their.
But again, it gives you Ben Simmons, who's part of the clutch team. That's what I'm getting at. Who spends his off seasons in Cleveland. To get someone like Ben Simmons, who's part of the clutch team, part of that brand already, and acquire draft picks in the process, which allows you to go move out and use those to acquire another veteran presence. That's what I'm getting at. So Ben Simmons would be part of that would be part of that team and acquire another player. Again, the Pelicans could struggle early on in the seasons. DeMarcus Cousins could be available for those picks. With a combination of a player involved as well.
If you could get DeMarcus Cousins, that would make Damian Hall so happy.
But I'm saying, though, DeMarcus Cousins is not a realistic option right now.
I know.
So, I know he brings it up all the time, and I don't mean to always yell at him, but it's not a realistic option right now.
Well, but that's why we have these conversations, because this is what you do with your friends. You talk about sports, you have fun. That's why we started this 6 years ago. Hey, what do you say? Ed Wilson is in the Facebook group. He's asking about, why aren't the players redoing their contracts to give up money? I don't know if he's referring to JR or Shumpert or anything.
Why would they want to give up any money? These players, don't forget these guys, when they retire, don't forget most athletes go bankrupt when they retire.
Well,
most.
Is it really more than 50%?
It's around there. It's high. Go watch the 30 for 30. A lot of them now have very good financial advisors. A lot of them do, and good accountants. So a lot of them now are stockpiling for the future. They're investing well. They're not going out. Some do, but a lot now are going out rather than pissing their money away on jewelry and expensive cars. A lot of them are going out now, and they're going out and they're investing their money. If you see, they're investing in in different opportunities. It just seems to be nowadays. But things are different than they used to be, than they were 20, 30 years ago, even 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the whole landscape has changed. I mean, one of the thoughts was that the collective bargaining agreement was going to change how the NBA did its business to curb a lot of the stuff that's happening more.
It didn't curb anything. I mean, it turns out it turns out it's looking like a disaster.
Well, and once again, general manager LeBron, union head LeBron. He's a great basketball player, but when he gets involved playing GM and when he gets involved in collective bargaining, look at what we have. I mean, his fingerprints, good or bad, when you're having that greatest of all time, the GOAT conversation, you can't have that conversation without remembering that LeBron is also a GM and also a union head that sets up these collective bargaining agreements. I mean, Miami is just as much to blame for the Golden State Warriors as anything else. I mean, it's got LeBron's fingerprints and signature all over it with the dominoes that he clicks in action. So, hey, what do you say to this question we're getting from Nick Paganakis, I'll say. He says the Cavs should deal with the Suns or the Wolves if they're actually going to trade him. What could they try to put together with the Suns or with the Timberwolves?
I mean, the Suns, you could package away for a bunch of young. I mean, that's the thing. The Suns have a ton of young players. But again, there's a lot. I mean, again, the same with the Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns are your first choice, and then there's Andrew Wiggins. I don't love Andrew Wiggins. Obviously, the Cavaliers traded him away once because they didn't love him.
Yeah, that's true. But did we trade him away because we didn't love him, or because that was a condition for LeBron coming back?
It's a condition, but I also don't think they loved Andrew Wiggins. I think if they were that obsessed with him, they would have tried to keep him.
Maybe they did. Who knows what that conversation was like with LeBron in the front office when that went down. The demands of what he was going to require to come back. I mean, I would love to be a fly on that wall. To think that Dan Gilbert and LeBron's camp are not completely intertwined with what's going down here. What do you say to that? When people like me look at David Griffin leaving the Cavaliers as general manager, and then LeBron sends out this shocked tweet of surprise and support, part of my spidey senses said, was LeBron behind that ouster or not? So you have any thoughts on that one?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry, I just got tied up looking at something.
when LeBron sent out the tweet in support of David Griffin, kind of acting like, oh, I'm so
No,
shocked.
I don't think it had anything to do with it.
Okay, well, anyhow.
People try to read too much into his subtweeting all the time.
Yeah, that's true. What do you say to Jason, who says the fact that James Jones is now in the front office with the Suns, he's not sure how that would work out in the mind of LeBron? Do you think anything happens with close friends in organizations?
Things do. I mean, but I don't think there's much. I mean, don't forget James Jones has a history with the Suns. He used to play for them. I think I'm happy for James Jones personally, but I don't think it has anything to do with anything else.
Do you think Shumpert is going to get traded?
I don't know if he's tradable. He stinks. That's the problem.
Is it that the guy obviously flashes some amazing plays from time to time. Is it possible in the right system he could take a bigger role, or it's just he is who he is?
No, he's just not very good.
Okay, that's fine. John's asking, why aren't we talking about training camp starting? Let's play the Browns schedule game. Oh, the Browns schedule game. Let's shift.
Okay, give me 16 L. Oh, give me 15 L's and 1 W, and just randomly put it in there somewhere, and there we have the Browns record, 1-15.
Okay, 1-15.
How does that work?
Yeah.
No, they'll probably go. No, I think they'll be better than that. I guess they go 4-12.
4-12 is the prediction. In the Facebook group live, what is your prediction for the Cleveland Browns? Type it in the thing so I can read them out. But tell me why. What is their record and why? What's up, Dwayne? What's up, John? What's up, Adam? Jason? Everybody's in the chat room. So, yeah, the Cleveland Browns. Who do you think is going to come out on top for the quarterback? I mean, it could just as easily be Osweiler or as it could be Kaiser.
I saw Deshaun Kaiser last night. He was at Town Hall.
What kind of? How did he strike you? What kind of guy did he strike you?
He was sitting down there eating.
Oh, a hungry guy? Like hungry to win? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Yeah, he seemed a little thirsty, too. I don't know.
Thirsty for a title? All right, yeah, I know.
I was talking about chicks, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. But gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I always predict the Browns are going to catch lightning in a bottle and go undefeated, but that's not really realistic either. I think
Brian, you have a better chance of being struck by lightning.
No, don't say that. I don't want that to happen. I want the other thing to happen. Jason's saying we're going to go 8-8. We seem to have a pretty good line, and that Kaiser could be the starter. 8-8's pretty solid. We've been miserable for so long. Are you coming out here for sure, Zach, for the Los Angeles game?
I'll be out there.
Okay. I'm amped for that. I want to see that. Are you still doing the season tickets with the Browns?
I am not. There's no point.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad for a long time. Let's see. John is saying all quarterbacks will play like they do every season. Yes, maybe. It really depends on the offensive line. Dwayne is saying Kaiser will probably start with them with 5 wins. I mean, I could see that. He's the highest drafted quarterback, and if they liked Cody Kessler so much, I don't think they would have taken Kaiser in the first round. I don't think so.
They took Kaiser in the second round.
I'm sorry, second round. Yeah, we took everybody else in the first round. John is saying 4 or 5 wins. Defense will be better than the offense, and will be in a lot of games till the end. Well, that's how you win in the AFC North, so I'd be all right with that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well then, Zach, let me let you get going here. Do you have any final thoughts on Kyrie Irving? It's a disappointing news story for
Bobby Marks said this. Giving Cleveland a list of teams should have no significance unless that player has a no-trade clause. Kyrie Irving doesn't have one.
Then why would he come out and get blasted by all the fans and put himself in a worse position knowing that he has no bargaining power? Like, what? Did he consider that?
What?
Did Kyrie Irving consider the repercussions of coming out and saying something like this, or was the story actually leaked by someone from the Cavs front office?
I don't think it was leaked by the Cavs. I think it was leaked by someone else in his group. I don't think it was leaked by the Cavs.
Well, the thing that I read here, which was pretty interesting from the agent, Irving's agent Jeff Weschler would not confirm or deny whether Irving asked for a trade. Quote, Kyrie and I had a meeting with Cavs leadership where we discussed many different scenarios in reference to Kyrie and his future with the team. He talked with Adrian Wojnarowski. The basis of those discussions and what went on in those discussions are between the Cavs and us. We are respectfully going to keep those private. So at least in that response, Kyrie's camp is saying, we had a conversation and we're not discussing it and leaving it there. But you think their camp is actually leaking it and denying that they're leaking it at the same time?
Yeah, I think they are.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to get many more stories over the next couple of days. And
Brian, I'll have more news for you very, very soon.
Yeah,
so stay put.
Give me something, and we'll try to do another show. Even if it's on Facebook Live or on YouTube, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hit me when you got something new, and we'll talk with you again soon, pal.
All right, sounds good.
To be continued. Go Cavs.
I'll talk to you later.